I knew since middle school that I was coming to Ole Miss because I've always wanted to be a pharmacist. And when you think about being a pharmacist and where's the best place to get your education in Mississippi, Ole Miss is going to come to mind.
I made my decision like really late in April, so it was kind of late. I wasn't exactly sure if this was the right choice for me, but ultimately I have always known that I wanted to be kind of like a double major, a person in both business and theater.
My dad was a big Ole Miss fan, even though he never went to school here, so he kind of trained me to love Ole Miss even before I visited Oxford or really had an understanding of what college was. And he actually passed away my senior year of high school, and so he was really influential in just teaching me how to be a friend to people. And then whenever he kind of expressed love for Ole Miss without having visited Oxford more than 2 or 3 times, throughout his life, I was like, there's something special about this. And I kind of felt like I was continuing a legacy a little bit that was never even created.
So for 16 years of my life, I had no clue what Ole Miss was, you know. All I knew was Jackson State, Belhaven, Millsaps. I was really sold on like the idea of like this charming university that would really get me out of my comfort zone.
Both of my parents went to Ole Miss, so I grew up an Ole Miss fan, always went to Ole Miss games, went to Ole Miss soccer camp, all the things. But when I was in high school, I was like, no, I'm not gonna go to Ole Miss, I wanna go somewhere else. Senior year, when I came to visit the university, I absolutely fell in love with it.
A lot of schools told me you can't do a degree, it's going to take you 6 years, you can't do this here, but I'm graduating in 4 years with 2 degrees. And so I knew that I was going to get like the academic support and the programs that I wanted here, and I'd be able to fulfill my passions through my school here.
Ole Miss to me is definitely all about family. I think that, any institution would give you the technical skills to do well in a career in the future, but Ole Miss, what really sets it apart is the people that are here.
Ole Miss has been a place where I could really find people that I can connect to, people that I feel like love and support me.
I think anywhere you go, just walking around campus on a day and passing your friends and saying hey to them and being involved in different organizations and just getting to be surrounded by all the different communities and the people, I think that's what really makes Ole Miss special, and that's really what's made it my home.
The Ole Miss community exists across space and time. I always feel connected to the people and the campus no matter where we are in the world.
You know, you're always in life looking for those people that can kind of be your backbone. And coming to Ole Miss, even starting freshman year, I started to find those people and develop those relationships. And each year it's just been adding on more and more to the list. So definitely Ole Miss means a lot to me personally because of the relationships I've built here.
I think as far as making my time here special, I think it's a combination of students, faculty, and staff. I mean, professors in the Department of Chemical Engineering I've grown really, really close to. One's actually sitting at my table right now. The staff, I've worked with a number of them on campus, and they've just had a profound impact on my leadership.
The people that have made my experience special, family, friends, the Honors College, the School of Pharmacy, the MOST program.
The Ole Miss Women's Council has been absolutely instrumental in making my experience at the University of Mississippi the best possible.
And I spent 2 summers doing orientation, so I think of Martin Fisher with the admissions department. I think of Callan Fahey, who was a grad assistant for orientation my years doing orientation. Now she works with admissions. So they've been very influential people to me, and they've just taught me what it means to be a leader.
Ryan Upshaw, E.J. Edney, Katrina Caldwell. I can keep going and going and going, but you get the feeling.
Dr. Ryan Upshaw, he was with us during the Washington, D.C. trip for summer lot, and he was actually the one who encouraged me to apply for Who's Who and Hall of Fame and really believed in my experiences and capabilities during my time at the university.
My orientation leader friends, and it's the Panhellenic community and how they've all supported me in different ways, and without their support and without the support of the fraternity and sorority life office staff and all my friends and family that lift me up, I don't think that my experience here would have been the same. So I don't think that even just picking one person would really do it justice, because it really has been the culmination of all those people.
Leaving Ole Miss is definitely bittersweet.
I'm feeling the bittersweet right now.
It's definitely bittersweet.
It's a mixture of bittersweet, but also just big fulfillment.
A quote that I really like that actually was recently put up in the Student Union about how the university regretfully gives tenure, but one never truly graduates from Ole Miss. That really resonates with me because I feel like a part of our heart and soul will still forever be with Ole Miss.
So much of who I am has been developed in the last 4 years here. And it's a little scary to leave this environment of just like very intense personal growth. But I look forward to the connections that I'll be bringing with me.
It's a tricky thing, right? Because you want to feel set up for the next step when you graduate, but it also is sort of sad to leave a place that you've given a lot to and it's given back to you. So bittersweet is the word I keep coming back to when I get this question.
Hopefully have many reunions down the road where, you get to reminisce about those times with those people and, think about these 4 years.
As student body president, navigating COVID, I've learned a lot about our student body. I've learned how just varied our experiences are. I've really had to learn how to truly sympathize and empathize with every kind of student.
As a leader in ASB and Honors College and other organizations, having to learn how to still maintain our organizations in the face of COVID and how we can adapt and still be there to advocate for the students has been difficult, including having meetings on Zoom, and then once we were allowed to meet in person, having hybrid meetings, and still not trying to use COVID as an excuse to not keep going. And so I've learned how to be more adaptable and creative.
I'm the type of person, when I'm in class, I need face-to-face interaction. I'm an extrovert, so I get my energy off of other people. So it was really hard for me to adjust and to learn. But the main thing I learned is that time management and communication are two of the most important skills that you'll ever come across.
Ultimately, the pandemic had forced us to reckon with what actually matters, right? And in some cases, are the things at school not those most important things, right? Are commitments to family, or commitments to friends, or even commitments to the self, ultimately most important is taking care of myself.
Just because there's so much going on in a normal school year, but even more with COVID. So just really every day assessing what I need and what I need to do to get by, because I can be a part of all these organizations or taking these, senior level classes, but if I'm not taking care of myself, I'm not going to be able to give my 100%.
So what's next for Joshua Manory? Well, first up is law school. I'll be at Notre Dame in the fall, in Indiana, and so that will be my chance to build my brand back up somewhere new. I'm still looking forward to running for president in the year 2036, and I thank Ole Miss for everything that it's done to kind of empower me to strive for that role. And so just stay tuned. I'm going to make y'all proud.
So I'll actually, hopefully, which it should happen, but be here for grad school next year to get my Master's of Accountancy. And I have an internship this summer with a firm in Memphis, Ernst & Young. And contingent upon that going well, I might have a job there.
So next year, I'm actually going to be attending medical school. I'm really excited about that. I haven't exactly decided where I'm going to go yet, but I will be going to medical school next year, so I'm really looking forward to it.
So I will be attending the University of Mississippi School of Medicine starting this fall, so I'm very excited to continue my education on the path towards being a physician one day in the future. So I'll be moving back home to sort of the Jackson area, and I'm very excited to continue my education with the University of Mississippi in the future.
Next, I actually got accepted into the Columbia Publishing course in New York City. So I will be going there for the summer. It's a 6-week course, intensive all about publishing, and that's the career field I want to go into. So I will be in New York this summer, and after that, your guess is as good as mine.
I'm hoping to be in DC next year, working on Capitol Hill or in some other form of public service, and I want to take the year to let myself figure out what I want to do, but then also let COVID-19 figure out what the professional life is going to look like for younger people like me.
So next for me, I am planning on taking a gap year next year from higher studies and also waiting out the pandemic, and I'm looking to get some real-world experience connecting to passions that I've developed during my time at the university.
Next year, I will be going into graduate school to pursue a degree in arts administration, and I hope to go work in nonprofit arts companies in financial management positions to promote greater financial accessibility to the performing arts.
So I'm in pharmacy school right now, my first year. So I still have 3 years left. So my next move is just continuing on in pharmacy school.
I will be going to graduate school for engineering to get a broader scope of our energy sector, specifically a combination of traditional fossil fuels and renewables, but accepted to a few schools, making that decision very, very soon, or it might be before graduation. We'll see what happens.
I actually just joined the Alumni Association, so I get the brick on the circle, so that's a really cool way to sort of, always come back to campus and be able to see my name on the circle. That's something that I'm definitely excited about doing is, coming back for a football game or a baseball weekend one year in the future and meeting back up with all the people that I've sort of, come to love about this place.
I feel like I've allowed myself to be a line of communication for a lot of people, and vice versa. They're a line of communication for me. So I'm excited about next year being even removed from Ole Miss, being able to still keep up with, hey, this is what's going on, or hey, this is a friendship thing I'm going through. Can you help me with this? Or I'm changing my major. What should my major be? Like, these are conversations that I've been able to have since being at Ole Miss, and I'm excited for those conversations to keep on going.
Trying to maintain connections with the other younger students I know, and even the faculty that have taught me here and the staff that have helped guide me through involvement, I think is important. Just maintaining those conversations and understanding how the university is developing.
I want to stay very closely connected, especially to the people that have been very meaningful to me. A bad habit of mine is that I'm really bad at texting people back. My friends know that very well, that sometimes it's really hard to get into contact with me. My parents know it too. But I really want to make a very, very meaningful plan to stay connected with my friends and my teachers and keep them in my life very closely. I don't want to leave and just kind of disappear and never look back. The people that I've met here are so influential and are so important to my life. So it's really important that I stay dialed in with them.
I think everyone comes into college and we think we understand ourselves because we understand our previous selves to the degree that we can. I think allowing yourself to come into college and say, I know who I am, but my glass isn't full yet. I still have to figure out what else is going in my cup. And my cup isn't overflowing yet because I haven't met the people that I've been purposed and destined to meet, and I haven't done the things that I've been destined to do.
Putting myself out there and being afraid of rejection and failure and letting that hold me back, but getting out of your comfort zone is so important in college, and I think that every new student comes in with the same fear and we're all afraid, but we have to realize everybody's afraid. And so that was something that definitely took me a little longer than I would have liked to, but it turned out to give me my best experiences and my best friends, and just by putting myself out there and just trying new things.
All it takes is empathy and a desire to serve the student body. In whatever form you think that is, whether that's student government or Rebel Fund or starting your own club yourself, you just have to have this desire to help people and to serve people, and you can do no wrong.
And not doing what everybody else is doing for the sake of doing it, but finding what you're truly passionate about so that you can really use your strengths to make a difference in other people's lives at the university.
Don't be closed-minded when you come to the university. Don't think that, I did this in high school, so that's definitely what I should do in college. I think that the university has a lot more to offer than that.
I've been able to further appreciate my own personal identity and cultural background, being a Hindu Indian American. I oftentimes find myself in spaces where I might be one of the only, if not the only, minority student, and I've also been able to see that as a strength, that I can bring in different ideas.
Don't hesitate, don't be scared to reach out to people, don't be scared to take new chances and new risks.
You're gonna get rejected from things, you're gonna get a bad grade, you're gonna get in fights with someone you thought was your best friend. So really just remember to always stay true to yourself and pick yourself back up when those things happen, and never doubt that you can still achieve anything you want to.